Good afternoon and good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to our live session during the World Future Energy Summit for 2024 about challenging of designing a tracker for the large-sized solar panels. We will start in 2 minutes, inshallah. So welcome everyone. Welcome to our live session during the World Future Energy Summit 2024. This live session is sponsored generally by Arctic, one of our world's leading manufacturers and solution providers of solar tracking and tracking systems. A couple of admin things as usual. Let us know on the chat if you can hear us well. Can you write us please on the chat? Can you hear us? Perfect. As usual, we would love to have your questions. Please make sure to ask your questions in the Q&A section. And for our audience on the social media, please make sure to have your questions on the comments. And our team is following, and we will share it immediately, inshallah. I'll introduce myself. I am Malak Al-Rai from Solarabik, the biggest renewable energy platform in the MENA region. We are happy to have you here today. I will introduce you today to our live session where we will discover how the PV tracking technologies developed over the last few years to accommodate the challenges that we have in the solar energy technologies. I'd love to introduce our expert, Mr. John Wang, the Vice General Manager of the R&D Center at Arctic. The floor is yours, Mr. We would like to now try if you can hear him well. Can you confirm if you can hear him well? Okay, we're trying to solve this. Can you see actually our camera? Due to technical issues, we will postpone the live for a few minutes and we will get back to you. We will get back at 1:15, inshallah. Stay in the webinar. We would love to have you. And if you have any questions, just to drop it so we prepare our answers.
Okay, so can you hear me? Hello? Test, test, tech, tech. Okay, so guys, I'm John, the Vice General Manager of Tech Solar. Today's topic is about the large size panels impact on the tracker design. Okay, let's get started. For the people that are not familiar with AgTech, we are the solar power tracker supplier. We founded in 2009, and we ranking number 5 globally right here in the Middle East, we are top one tracker supplier. We have a lot of office all around the world to make sure that the client can get our response within 8 hours. And until now, we shipped more than 29 gigawatts all around the world. Our marketing is in China, Middle East, India, and Latin America. Okay, so let's back to the topics today. We know that the panels are getting larger and larger, and what will be the impact of the panels? So let's look at the panel size currently. The panel size, has a length increase from 2 meter to 2.4 meter and then 2.5 meter. And we have a panel west from 1 meter to 1.3, 1.1 meter. So panel size is increased right now, according to the industry. And people know that the trackers is like a mechanical structure. And mechanical structure is very sensitive to the size. And if the panel size increase, the whole tracker size will increase as well. We have a 4 very sensitive dimension of the trackers, which is the height, the length, the curve length, and the span. They will all increase according to the size of the panel. So what will be the challenge when we have a large size panel? The first challenge is because the size length of the panel increase, we have to redo the wind tunnel test. Sorry? Okay. Yeah. How about now? Good? Okay. We have a small problem. No issues. But once we calculate the trackers, we have to make sure that the wind load is very accuracy. Then we will go to the tunnels to do the test. And there's 2 main factors we are looking for, which is the GCN, the static coefficient, and DF, the dynamic amplification coefficients. But once the panel length increase, all data in the tunnel need to be refreshed because before in the old wind tunnel testing, we are testing a small panel, okay? And right now the panel getting larger, we have to go to the tunnel again to do the test. We, as architect, we will do a lot of things. Keep going. Keep going. Okay. So we have to do a lot of tests, including static tests, dynamic tests, multi-low area elastic test, and high tracker test. Okay. So we can see that right now the trackers made by architect can be used for all kinds of modules in the industry, from the from 1.8 meter length to 2.5 meter length. So okay. And once we do the test, we compare the old data, the small panel data, and the large panel data. Okay, and we found out the coefficient of 2 different sizes of panels has a very big gap. It's around 10% increment. So we need to very carefully because once the size of panel increase, the coefficient of the wind tunnel data will increase as well. Okay, so the challenge is not only one. We have a second challenge. The second challenge is once the panel width increase, the tracker length will increase. Looking at the trackers deformation, we have 3 different type of deformation right now. from the torsional mode, pinwheel mode to the swing mode. And the torsional mode is the one that very carefully, we need to be very careful. The picture on the left is called the critical wing map. And we have a safety zone, which is governed by the 0-degree tilt. So if we want to have a safe tracker, we need to increase the wing speed for 0-degree tilt. You know, tracker has a stone mode. And if a tracker suffering high wind, it will go to stone and stay there. So we have a power loss because of the stone mode. We don't want to have a much stone mode per day. But if you use a Felix, trackers, the critical wind speed is low, you will have a tracker that stone every day, right? So we don't want that. We compare a high critical wind speed tracker to a low critical wind speed tracker. The gap between these two trackers was around 10%, even 20% per day. That's a lot, and that damages the tracker. So what parameters that relate to the critical wind speed? The key parameter is the tracker length. If the tracker length increase, the frequency reduce, and the critical wind speed will reduce. We will lose a lot of power because of low critical wind speed. In the small panel, time, we are designing the tracker for 3-string, and we can keep the critical wind speed like 80 meters per second. But right now, because of the large size panel, the tracker will increase the length, and the critical wind speed of 0-degree, which is a safety zone field, will be reduced a lot. For example, from 80 meters per second to like only 9 meters per second. That is half velocity reduction. So people are thinking of the solution, and lots of people come up with the idea of a dual system to shorten the trackers and increase the critical wind speed. That's also one solution, but there are issues. We will talk about the issues later. Okay, so talking about the third challenge for the trackers, the high stone tilt. We have two pictures, the damage of the panel. Before, the size of the panels very small, and right now the size of panels increase, the mechanical loading of panels reduced. So we will see this damage in the project more and more. What is the issue? Let's go back to critical wind speed again. If we increase the size of the panel, and the critical wind speed curve will change. Before, the tracker stone at 30-degree can have like a 40 meters per second critical wind speed. But by a large size panels, if we want to keep 40 meters per second critical wind speed, we have stone in a higher tilt from 30-degree to even 55-degree. And what would be the issue to stone at 55-degree? Panel pressure. If we look at this curve, this is called a panel pressure curve. 55-degree stone tilt has 30% more load compared with 30-degree stone tilt trackers. That means the pressure on top of panels increase because of we want to remain the critical wind speed. Okay, so everybody knows this formula, right? Because we are in the solar industry, people are looking for the IEC code to make sure the panel is okay to insert on the trackers. However, IEC code also has an issue. This is a typical IEC code, MQT16, which is a mechanical loading test. And according to the IEC, the MQT6 is uniform test. Okay, a uniform load. So the load on the trackers or on the panels is like a uniform load. But what is the real wind pressure? Looking at the animation here, you will find that the load on top of panels is not uniform. It's ununiform, right? It's larger on the bottom but small on the top. And compared to the IEC testing, we have two different type of load on the top of panels. And the people will understand that the real condition is much more aggressive than the MQT6, testing. That means MQT MQT16 test is not good enough for the real condition. And there comes the bad news. When we calculate the structures, we have to make sure that the structure is calculated within a certain level of return period. And before we are talking about the risk category 1, and that one means 300 years. Okay, so we calculate structure for 300 years return period. However, the new IBC code, International Building Code, they require a second level of risk category, which is a risk category 2. And it will increase the return period from 300 to 700. It will bring us a 15% additional wind pressure, and that is not good. Okay, so talking about the challenge and issue for the large size panels, what would be the solution for us? What is the exact solution? Let's do the summary before we go into details. Okay, so large size solar panels has to do the wind tunnel test, and we have a low stability, low performance, ununiform load on the panels, high panel pressure, and a large area. Right, that is the issue or the challenge from the large size panels. AgTech developed next generation trackers, which use multi-drive system. The multi-drive system means in the old tracker, the old design has only one swing drive for trackers, but the multi-drive system has more than 2 swing drives, maybe 3, maybe 4 for one tracker. That makes trackers more stable. And the tracker, for the first moment, can stone at 0 degree. This is our 2 different type of trackers. For 1P system, we call the Skyline 2. 2P system, we call the Sky Smart 2. And both of these products are multi-drive system. We have bring a new latest solution for the trackers, which is a dual system with a multi-drive solution. We call it Skywings. If you guys are in the show, you can come and visit us to touch and see the real product in our booth. Okay, so the multi-drive system, I made an example based on the Skyline 2. The multi-drive system have more than 2 swing drive. And we designed a very unique hot tube, which is used for resist the high wind speed. Why we designed the multi-drive system? Why the multi-drive system is so unique? When we designed the wind tunnel test, we have 2 different type of trackers. The Skyline 2, Sky Smart 2, and the Sky Smart 1. They are 2 different type of trackers. Sky Smart 2 is a multi-drive system. Sky Smart 1 is a single drive system. And we got the result from both tests. They are 2 different critical wind speed maps. For Sky Smart 1, let's talk about Sky Smart 1 first. Sky Smart 1 has a very typical critical wind speed with a Z curve. And the lowest wind speed is at 0 degree. However, for Sky Smart 2, we have a different curve. We call the A curve. And at 0 degree, we have the maximum storm critical wind speed. That means we can storm at 0 degree because 0 degree right now is the most stable trackers storm kill. Also, once we use the multi-drive system, we will have a higher safety zone. That means we can increase the storm wind speed from 80 meters per second to 22 meters per second. That gives us a lot of performance, additional performance compared to the single drive system. This is very important because once we use the multi-drive system, we can storm at 0 degree. As we know, from the wind tunnel test because 0 degree has highest critical wind speed. And the wind storm at 0 degree compared to the other competitors, they storm at the higher altitude, we will have a much lower wind pressures on top of the panel. For example, if we storm at 0, the pressure on top of the panels is only 1,000 Pascal. But the people, they storm at the high altitude, they will have a 3,000 Pascal pressure on the top of the panels. That is 3 times larger compared to the competitors. Let's do a summary. So compared to the single drive system, the multi-drive system has a lower wind pressure, higher performance, higher stability, shorter foundations, and also we will have a lower installation cost. All our Actex products, including Skyline 2, SkySmart 2, and the Skywings, we work together with our best trust third-party engineers, and we got a verification from their analysis. Aldafa 2.1 gigawatt is the biggest single phase solar power plant in the earth, and it applies our latest technology, TP system, SkySmart 2, which is very close to the Abu Dhabi, 42 kilometer, distance. It's already done, and if people interested, you can visit and see the real product. That's it. Thank you. We're done. Really?
Thank you so much, Mr. John, for all your presentation. As we have received many questions from our attendees, and before closing, we would love to ask you a few questions.
Good.
In the wind tunnel, what kind of teach you guys are doing in-house?
Okay, let me understand this question. So how do we do wind tunnel test, right? The wind tunnel test is a scaled model inside the tunnels. And we have to make sure that we build a small model which is similar to the rail trackers. So we need to scale the velocity, the frequency, the dimensions. And we create a small model and put that into the tunnel, and the wind will fit the model. Based on the sensors, we can get information from the tunnel testing. And that information will be used for design or calculating the wind pressure on top of the panels. Yeah.
Thank you so much. Moving to another important question. What is the key benefits of the Skywings, as it is the new product for you? It is really important for people to understand briefly what are the key benefits for them to use it, and especially in our environment in the MENA region.
Skyline 2, right? Okay. Skywings. All right. So first of all, Skywings is a one-piece solution, and also they use multi-drive system, which is based on our new technology. Right? Multi-drive means that they have many through drives per hour. And the Skywings is the first tracker that uses the dual system based on multi-drive technology. We can reduce the cost of a control box because before one row need to be a one control box. Right now, 2 rows only can use one control box. So the cost is very effective if we use Skywings trackers. Yep.
Thank you so much. These are really important benefits, especially in our harsh environments in the MENA region, with different conditions that we have. One last more question, so we stay on the track of the time. We have received, what is the reason to come up with these models, especially the last one you mentioned?
The what modules? Sorry.
Skywing model.
We mean the Skywing model. What is the reason that we come with this solution as a model? The magic behind this model.
Let me understand this question. currently are. Okay, so what is the reason why we develop a multi-drive system like a Skywing? I think the main reason is trackers. The mission of the trackers is to protect the panels. Okay, so if there's no panels, there's no reason for the tracker design, and we have to make sure that the panel on top of the trackers is okay. Current, because the large size of the panels, the panel itself is getting weaker. It cannot resist the higher wind pressure. And if the people use the old technology to stone the tracker at the high tilt, that means the pressure on the panels will increase a lot and it damages the panels a lot. So we want to stone the trackers at 0 degree because 0 degree has the lowest wind pressure for all type of tilt. If we want to stone the tracker in 0 degree, multi-drive system is the only solution for this kind of issue. That's the reason why we develop a multi-drive system, and we use that for all production end of actor. Yep.
Thank you so much, Mr. John, for all of your informative information and the presentation. I'd love to finally closing and sending our thanks to our attendees here on Zoom and over the social media, and whoever attended the live podcasting. Your interested questions were really informative, and thank you for joining us today. I hope you will be joining us in our future live sessions. We would love to have you here in the WFES. If you are here and attending the event and the exhibition, we would love to have you visiting our booth here. I wish you a nice and sunny day. Stay healthy and safe. Thank you, and see you inshallah next time. Thank you so much, everyone.
Thank you. Thank you. Bye-bye.